And we are back in the motherfucking mix. Sorry for the delay, but we'll hop right into it with some thoughts and readings and writings over the last weeks and months. And so let's get it going. Everybody's having the exact experience that they need to be having right now. It's easy to, for sure, it's easy to resist a lot of what's going on, or thinking that I should be somewhere else, or this should be different in some way. But realistically, it's exactly what needs to be happening, because that's exactly what you set up to create. You did all this, taking ownership of what you've created and then owning it and being like, yo, this is exactly what I need right now to get to the next phase, or even just, it's just a stepping stone, really. And holding true with that. This is what's going on right now. This is exactly what I need to get me to where, again, I need to go to the next step. And so next one's, our lives are built on reinforcing systems. Yeah, I mean, when you say you're like trying to lose weight, you're going to be a runner or exercise or something, like, you're only that thing because of all of the habits and systems that you put into place. Like, whatever you're doing right now, it's the systems that were created, the systems that you reinforced by putting effort and energy into them, that reinforced it to give you the life that you have now. So think about your life as it relates to systems and reinforcing systems, and what systems you want to actually reinforce to make you whatever you want to become. Falling behind is an illusion. Yeah, I think it happens more now than ever, because there's you have so much input all at once, and it's so easy to see what's going on with everybody else's lives, and they're all at different stages. They're all in different locations, and we think of it as like a linear thing, like, oh, that person has X amount of money or followers or assets or whatever, so they're farther along, and I'm farther behind. I'm falling behind. And it's like they're just at a different space. Like, we've never in the course of human history have been able to judge and gauge and really like play the comparison game at this like super high level. Like, back in the day, you'd only know like 6 motherfucking people, and like that would be all right. And you'd be able to like manage that in your mind with where they're at and where you're at, and having that. But now you have people from all walks of life all around the world, and you're like, fuck, why am I not as rich as a prince at this part of the world? Or why am I not owning multiple tech companies? And it's like, dude, like, that's just those people's experience. You can't think that you're falling behind. That's just, it's just a different, they're living on a different plane of reality, different timeline. And the one you have is the one you have ownership of. Okay, next one. Sometimes we sit in our own pain for years before we start waking up and adjusting our behavior. And yeah, I think it is really easy to sit and be in pain and in like complacency and in that space of like, I don't want to do anything, so I'm just going to wait here. It's like, yeah, that you could sit and like be present with it and take it in and like then, make something of it. But really think, how long am I really sitting in pain for before you ultimately just take action? So why not just take action fucking sooner and make that change and adjust the behavior, as opposed to just like sitting and waiting for literally nothing, because you're just waiting on yourself, at the end of the day. Sometimes what we learn from being different is more important than what we learn from fitting in. Yeah, I mean, I think of it like in terms of like science or like inventions or really anything in life. Everything is created at the extremes. When you have extreme sense of maybe pain or hardship or whatever, something is created from that. And not a lot is really created from this like neutral, like right in the middle of the bell curve kind of space. Like all the like cars and fucking technology and anything was created from the extremes, from the ends of those spectrums. And so being in those spaces, or really being different, ultimately is going to get you, a different life, different experience. If you want to fit in, be right down the middle, yeah, you have a lot of information on how to be right down the middle, normal. But most of us, I doubt, ever really want to feel normal. Pain is the portal to awakening to this experience. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like when like you pinch yourself to wake up from a dream type of situation. That's really at the core of it what it is, right? Like, that pain is going to get you to somewhere else. Like, pain is going to allow you to invent something else, or be different, or create a series of systems that changes your life in general. And so next one. What if you did not measure your life by how it compares to who is around you, but how it felt inside of you? Yeah, I'll do this one again because that's a tricky one. And my dogs are walking in right now, so if you hear background noises, then that's them. What if you did not measure your life by how it compares to who is around you, but how it felt inside of you? Yeah, it's so easy to just judge your life based on the environment and the things that are around you. I even said it a second ago, the systems, right? What is around you? What habits are you participating in? But realistically, what the fuck, how does it feel to be you? Because that's the only experience that you really have. All these other experiences, external factors, these environmental cues, they're separate. They're separate from you. You know, you can't be your house. You can't be your car. You can't be your friends. All you can be is you. And at the end of the day, feeling that is probably the most important thing of all. Okay, let's get to the next one. Be ready to accept new evidence. And I think that's so simple, but so hard as you get older and you experience more of life and you think you don't need evidence or things. Like, just really be ready to accept new information and a new way of living and thinking farther and farther down the line. I might say one of these phrases and then contradict it in the next one. It's like, if you're like, I always think about this. You're born flexible and limber, like a plant. It's like very loose, and the wind blows, it kind of moves with it, and you die really rigid and frail. And it's that rigidity, that unwillingness to change, that rigid stiffness, it ultimately speeds the aging process up. And you're rigid, and it happens with the mindset. It's not just your body, it's your mindset as well. This is a great one. The heart knows, the mind reinforces it. So intuition is something that I feel like is under attack with the use of technology, algorithms, ChatGPT, AI, which is not bad. Those things are fucking awesome, and it's so awesome to fast track a lot of some things. But realistically, your intuition, your heart knows exactly what it wants, and your mind reinforces what it wants. A lot of times we defer to the mind to tell us what we want, what we need to know, what we need to go toward. But realistically, the mind is just going to reason and logic on why you're doing the things you're doing. You could be doing something absolutely horrible, and your mind can find a way to rationalize that, to preserve itself, but the heart really knows. You're responding to a belief system, and goes back to the system I mentioned earlier. You're just responding to what you believe in. And if you change what you believe in, you'll then respond to what that new belief is. And so thinking about it as like a reaction or like a causation kind of effect, I think does help, because it's like, what am I believing in? Are those things that I truly believe in? Is that what my heart wants? Then boom, go toward it and keep it moving. But if not, then find a new belief system. Find something that actually feels good. Desire and fear are the enemy of clear thinking. It's so baked in to want things or to fear something else. It's how we actually got to this point in time in human existence, because I'm cold, I want to be warm. Like, I desire warmth, so I fucking harness fire, and you do that. Oh fuck, I fear death, so I'm gonna maybe not walk off of this cliff right now. But those things, and now in modern day time for a lot of folks, are really the enemy of clear thinking and being centered and being like, is this really what I need to do right now? So really think about, what the fuck is it that you want? Are those really belief systems that we want to play into? What are the things that I fear? Fear another belief system? Is that what you want to attribute your life to? Is that really helping right now? If not, then, bounce those ideas and start thinking a little bit more clear. What reality are you responding to? I like, this is an analogy. I don't know what book it's from, but a baby, like, if you're holding it and you're caring for it and you're loving it, that baby's not going to see like who that person, like if you're like an ugly old person or like you're a hot fucking younger person, like the baby doesn't give a fuck. Like the baby is just going to appreciate the love that it's receiving, and it's responding to that reality. But so often we judge people on how they look or how they act or whatever these things are. But it's a reality. It's a reality that you're living in, that you've baked into your life. It's a belief system that you're attributing to. Sometimes you have to just feel the action, feel what's really going on, and again, bounce those judgments somewhere else, because that reality is not really serving you. You don't really need to look at people that way or respond to things in that way. It's a fucked up thing, but over time our reality does get skewed to some weird fucking funhouse mirror type situation. All thinking is a sign of ignorance. And this one's a supercharged statement, but it is, I mean, I feel like ignorance only comes from the thinking mind. I feel like ignorance is not like an inherent heart-centered, soul-centered thing. It's just, the mind being like, yeah, we understand this, or I don't understand this, so I'm blocking it out. So, thinking is the most powerful thing you can do. So be very aware of that and how it affects your life and what you're ignoring, right? And what you're maybe delving or diving into a little bit too much based on desire and fear. Your innate understanding of right and wrong never really goes away. It just gets clouded by fear, by attachment, by the idea. That's what's in front of you is the best you. Wait, hold on. That might have fucked up for a second. But your innate understanding of right and wrong never really goes away. It just gets clouded by fear and by attachment. That makes a lot of sense to me, honestly. To be able to get clouded by things that are constructs from your mind makes perfect sense. But really what's in front of you, here is what I messed up earlier, what's in front of you is the best you may ever have. Like you actually, the present moment, how I ascribe to this, is the best you could ever have. 100%. That's my belief system. But if you're fucked up, you're clouded by other things, you'll never be able to acquire or even sit with or understand what is the best I can have is right fucking now. It's not when I'm going vacation on the beach or all this dope shit that you could be doing it. The best is right fucking now. And getting all clearing all those clouds, clearing all that fear and attachment ideas of what you want out of the way allows you to access, the best that you may ever have. We'll get to a close here in a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up. You already know what you need to do and what you don't. And the longer you wait to do what you need to do, the more lost you're going to be. You already know what you need to do, what you need, you know it. You know what the fuck you need to do right fucking now. And you know what you don't need to do. And the longer you fucking wait on what you need to do, the more lost you're going to be, the more confused, the more anxious, the more all these weird feelings come up. And then you got to deal with those guys. It's action. Action alleviates anxiety. Fucking handle the business, do the damn thing. And a lot of all this internal metaphysical shit that you can't really touch does just kind of seep away. We'll do two more. Getting honest with yourself is the best form of self-protection and self-love. Being completely straight up and clear of mind and heart and soul is going to really protect you from a lot of shit that you don't need, but it's also you're going to be able to show yourself so much love. Because you're there. You're like, what do I really fucking need right now? Let me be honest. I need this. I need this person in my life. I don't need this person in my life. That's self-love. We often think self-love is I'm going to take some rest when I need to. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to work out or whatever. And those things are fantastic. Those are self-love. But self-love is just being straight up with yourself and being like, yeah, this is my life. This is what I need. This is what works for me. And I'm going to keep doing that. And so this is keep it on the last one. Go forward with faith and trust yourself, because lying to yourself gets you nowhere. Having faith and trusting yourself, I don't have to say it's probably the most important faith and trust you could ever have. And that maybe goes against contradictions of, having faith in God or Jesus, blah, blah, blah. But I attribute or subscribe to the belief system that you are those things. So you have to have faith in yourself, faith and trust in yourself that you're going to be able to get through whatever you get through. And the more we lie and try to coerce and trick and use our mind to get somewhere else, that it's truly getting you nowhere. It's not, it's playing running that hamster wheel in your mind. It's hitting that treadmill in your mind, and it's just movement, but it's actually not really moving you anywhere in time and space. And let's finish with this one. I actually pulled up on a nice quote. Nobody can hand you your own love. It says it all right there. You're going to be able to give yourself all that love. That's your responsibility to provide all the love that you could ever need through you and your love and your heart and your soul. That nobody can hand you your own love. You're the only one that can truly provide to you and fulfill your own self. We don't exist outside of ourselves, not yet. And so existing within ourselves, for me at least, I do believe that it is providing yourself, being your own being your own source of love and inspiration and joy and contentment and all those things, that no one could ever give you anything that you don't have yourself. And so hope that helps. Hopefully those thoughts were enjoyable. We're going to get back in the mix on these little thought blurbs and things. And so until next time, I'll see you soon.